today by Jenny LaSala and Jim Markson. They wrote a book about Jim's experiences in Vietnam. Thank you so much for being here. And at one point you were married, and so that's why you collaborated on this. Now, why did you write Vietnam and Beyond?
Well, it came as a result of Jenny wrote a book about her father, who was a World War II veteran in the 101st Airborne. And Jenny, after he passed away, Jenny came across of all of these letters, basically love letters that her future father wrote to her future mother, Betty Lou. And she made a book out of it. And we were married for 14 years, and I read the book. I knew her father. He was a really great guy. And I'm reading all these letters that he wrote home, and then I mentioned to Jenny, I said, you know, I wrote home 62 letters to my mother when I was in Vietnam, and I still have them. And Jenny said to me, you know, maybe we could make a book out of that. And it went from there.
What do you hope people get out of reading these letters? You were there in 67, 68. You were only a teenager.
19.
Yeah. What do you hope people get out of reading your letters?
Well, these are personal letters, just things that I had no idea would ever be put into a book. So they're things that I'm saying to, like, my brother and my sister, and that were very honest and intimate things, personal things, family things. I write about the day I left home, and the day when, especially the day I came home. And there's a lot of emotional stuff. It's not a shoot 'em up. I was in the Air Force. I wasn't an infantry grunt. And I tell my story from that point of view.
I think what's important, too, is that, as Jim recognized in my father's book, Comes the Soldier's Whisper, that he was able to identify with so many sentiments that my father wrote about. And with Jim's book, what makes his book stand apart from the rest is, number one, two ex-spouses collaborated on this project, which is very special. Number two, that Jim added these beautiful, insightful, and highly emotional reflections today, looking back 47 years ago over the letters he wrote as a 19 and 20-year-old. And his reflections are powerful. I believe that veterans of all wars, their families especially, when they read this book, and especially with our embracing 30 other veterans of all wars from World War II to Afghanistan, will see themselves. They'll see their children, their sons, their daughters, their brothers, their sisters, their mothers, their fathers, and it will resonate throughout.
Yeah, some experiences are universal no matter the war. Well, I just wanted to share one quote from the book that I thought was a little amusing. You wrote to your mother, "There's a whole bunch of weird things I could tell you about, but I'd have to write a book, and I'm tired." And you wrote that in 1968, so you waited more than 40 years to write the book.
Yeah.
But,
and how prolific, who knew?
Yes, that's really interesting. Well, thank you both for being here, especially just in time for Veterans Day. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we will tell people on our website how you can get Vietnam and Beyond, RochesterHomepage.net.